Hey, peace family. Headed to the store, but I wanted to share some thoughts about, being amongst the Hebrew Israelite community, um, being amongst those who believe that they're descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel, the Hebrews, the ones who wrote the scriptures, and the ones through whom the scriptures were mediated. Um, Gave me some interesting thoughts, at towards the end of this, because when I look at the mindsets that a lot of Israelites have today, the mindset when it comes to a lot of the mindsets, but when it comes to the exclusivity, the way that it's like, hey, we are the people, and the Most High spoke through us, and you got to come through us, to get to the Most High. You got to cling to us, and we had the word, and we are the ones and the carriers of the word, and the ones that bring the word, and we are in the truth, and this is the truth, and the exclusivity, excluding other races of people from being able to encounter the Most High in the same type of way. Not everyone holds that view. Amongst Hebrew Israelites, of course, is a broad view, a broad range of different mindsets and understandings amongst the nationality of people who hold to being a Hebrew Israelite. But um but that is a major one amongst many people, um, excluding everybody except for this small group of awakened people who know who they are, who they're descendants of. And when it comes to how the scriptures are handled, how people are handled, it's the way that it's made the scriptures come to life, in a sense of when you look at like the Pharisees and how they related, and it's like I can just see all of the horrible things that are in the scriptures being played out in the midst of our people today. I can see it played out. I can see the people. I mean, like everything that's in the scriptures, like it's not hard for me to see our people uh, saying and doing the things that I see in the scriptures, right? And what it has done for me is made me kind of snap out of something to say that I think that we think that people back then were so different from us today. I think that we think that humans were, so different at the core than what we are today, and that's not the case. The scriptures bear witness to the fact that that's not the case. It's pretty much the same type of mindsets that people have today, and same type of nature, same people, same humans back then as today. And when you see how people handle the scriptures, whether it's Israelites or Christians or whatever, when you see how people who hold the scriptures handle the scriptures, and how we handle the things related to God and to uh, spirituality, how we claim God said this and God said that and God said this and thus saith the Lord, and everybody claims that they're a prophet. Everybody claims, like, you see how we do these things today, right? And it just made me think, like, why do we think that the people who wrote the scriptures were so different than us? You know, how do I know that the because we believe based on the scriptures that the Israelites were the chosen people, and nobody, the Most High, the apple of his eye, and he dealt with nobody else but the Hebrews. He ain't dealt with nobody else. That's what we believe. Why do we believe that? We believe that because the Hebrews said so. The Hebrews who wrote the scriptures said so. Um, and they say God said, and so it made me question. I'm like, maybe he didn't say. Maybe they said. Maybe they had this exclusive attitude and mindset, right? Because when you look at the character that's displayed amongst Israelites, all from the beginning, from the dead beginning to the dead end, look at the character that you see consistently displayed. You see all kinds of flesh and ego. You don't see the character of what we would perceive to be the Almighty, right? You see glimpses of it here and there and here and there, but the persistent character that you see is the same thing that you see today. So I just started thinking, maybe, I mean, I started looking at it for what it actually is. This is a book that was mediated by humans. And just like us today, we have legitimate encounters, spiritual encounters. We have a genuine walk with the divine in the way that we perceive it. And we talk about it, we write about it, and it changes us, and it changes other people. It's significant, it matters, it's weighty. But then there's also us in it, you know it's us in it as well. So that's I had that view, and I never thought of it that way ever before, and I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it because I'm like, I see it so clearly, and I can't necessarily, just because I've been handed this book, trust that, oh, this is God's intentions. Also, along with that, when I look at the scriptures now, I'm like, okay, I'm evaluating it, all of it, all of it, New Testament, Old Testament, every bit of it. I'm evaluating it because what I do trust, what has always led me, what led me from the very beginning, like anybody, and what led anybody who even came to believe in God, to believe in Christ, to believe in any of it, there was something within you that bared witness and that led you. So I continue to trust that which is within me. Okay. Um, and that's what I will allow to continue to lead me, because what else am I going to allow to lead me? Because otherwise, either I'm allowing what's within me to lead me, or I'm allowing what was within somebody else to lead me. I'm a rock with me all day long, because I know what's in me, because I'm honest with me. I'm honest. So if you're not honest with you, that's between you and you. You got to work on that. You got to work on being honest with you so that you can trust you. If I'm gonna be deceived, it's gonna be because of something that I trusted outside of me, that I trusted in and deceived me, not because I trusted in my self. And when I'm talking about self, I'm not talking about ego. I'm not talking about you know I don't know. I don't know what kind of relationship people have with themselves. I have cultivated an honest relationship with myself. So when I'm tripping, even if I don't want to admit it to someone else, I'm going to admit it to myself. If I'm experiencing a particular type of emotion, like this is what it means to be in tune to yourself, to know thyself, right, and to thy own self be true. This is important. It's important to not just know the scriptures, to know yourself and to be true to yourself. Nobody can master you but you. We have to know ourselves and master ourselves and know what is within us, so that we can know how to navigate, right? Because if you can't trust you, how you out here trusting other people and what other people said and what other people are doing and what other people are leading towards, and you don't trust you? You trust others more than yourself. That's not a stable foundation to build on. And it could be a starting point for some. It may have to be a starting point sometimes, right? But it has to become a place that you grow beyond. We have to learn to trust ourselves. In order to trust ourselves, we have to cultivate an honest relationship with ourselves and within ourselves. That's the most important thing I think that we can do, is to be honest with ourselves and get to know ourselves, every side. you know know the dark side of yourself. Know what part of your heart is has wickedness dwelling there. Know what part of your heart lies. Know what your issues are within you, so that when it comes time to make decisions, when you're trying to discern, when you're trying to hear which direction to go in, you can know, okay, I tend to want to manipulate a situation, or I tend to, want to not feel a particular way, or I tend to get angry quick, or I tend to, you know, have this particular motive when I'm going into a situation, or I tend to feel inadequate in this situation. Let yourself be honest with yourself about what's going on inside of you. Like, we've mastering a book, we need to master ourselves. We need to master our own hearts, our own minds. Let whatever book that you read to be able to help you in your journey, let the purpose of that be not to master knowing the history of all of that. Use it as a catalyst and a tool to learn to master what's going on inside of you, right? Allow it to lead you to being brought into closer and deeper alignment with truth. That's the goal. So we can master the Hebrew, we can parse the Hebrew, we can master the Greek, we can master history, we can know all of it. It's not wrong to do if as a pastime, right? But what good is it to have complete mastery of all that, but still you walking around your heart's deceitfully wicked, right? As a student of the word, I spent so much time. I found that I was spending so much time focused on the past and the future, meaning focused on history and things that happened with other people in past thousands of years, trying to focus on what happened in the beginning, of which I was not there. What kind of, who was in the beginning? Was God? Was God and Yeshua? And who was in the beginning? And what are they made of? And are they a Trinity? All those type of things. None of us was there. None one of us. I don't care what nobody is convinced of in this life. None of us were there in the beginning. Okay, so everybody's speculating. Every single soul is speculating. Okay, so we weren't there, and we seem to be so confident about the fact that we were. We were so confident in our answers, in just married to this idea of certainty. But so we focus on that, and then we focus on the future. We know what's coming. We know people are gonna burn in hell. We know that. And we know that with all certainty who is and who isn't. And we know that when people die, we know what happens when they die. And nay one of us died and stayed dead. Nay one of us have died and stayed dead, and we still here, to talk about it. And near death experiences is not death. That's near death. Different. Okay. You still have your own, you're still in the land of consciousness to a degree. So nobody has died and not come back and been able to tell us about what happened when they died. So all the certainty that we have is irrelevant. And we focus on future prophecy. This is going to happen. We following the news. We following what is the mark of the beast going to happen, and we following all these things and focused on studying the eschatology and studying all these type of things about the apocalyptic stuff. We focused on the future prophecies and how it's going to unfold. We focus on everything except for being present in the now and in ourselves, and actually mastering what matters the most, because that's what matters the most. The here and the now is all we have. We were not there then, we ain't there yet in the future. All we have. So we miss our whole lives because we focused on deeply studying and focused and immersed in something that we can never know with any certainty anyway. We will never know with any certainty until we are gone from here, and depending on what happens, we still may not know. So but what we do, what will change the world is not us mastering the scriptures. It is us mastering, at best, pulling the principles from the good that's within the scriptures, and the life-giving principles that are within it, pulling from that and applying it to ourselves and transforming ourselves. That's where life will come from. That's what will be transformative to the whole world, to come out of the preoccupation with mastering the book and actually mastering within. So I just wanted to add that in there, family. Thoughts that I've come to in regards to the scriptures, coming from someone who has been deeply, deeply immersed and preoccupied with them for decades. So, all right, family, I'm about to go to the store. Just wanted to say a few words. I will talk to you soon. Peace to you. Peace and wholeness. Shalom.